I have to let go.
It's time.
It's time. Will you hold my hand?
So.
Welcome back to yet another episode with Coffee with Baseload. I hope that you are settled up with coffee.
All right, let's cut here, because Kristina, this is my show now, so please move over.
Oh my God, I'm getting kicked out.
Yes.
Can I at least be in the show?
Yeah, well, sort of. Gabriela is the prime star here, so
Okay.
I have my own cup,
Okay.
and I see you taking one of the
I stole one of the cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
Sorry.
already.
Yeah, I had to.
It's
They were
okay.
so good. Yeah, they're
So let me start. Hello and welcome to another episode with Coffee with Baseload with me, Jesper Jolma. So this episode is actually a bit of a special, I would say, because it's about a children's book. Who would have thought? But Baseload has actually based, or together with Gabriela and Kristina, had the fantastic initiative of actually creating, I guess you say creating, a children's book. Why?
Yeah. Why? You know, it was about 3 years ago when I started this job, and I went out looking for a book to explain to my son, who was at the time then 5 years old and wanting to explain what geothermal is. And I went to the science museum, there was nothing. I went to the library, I went to the stores, I googled, and there were no books on what geothermal is. And that kind of lingered in my head for a long time. And as we've been working very much with the awareness of creating awareness, of improving awareness regarding geothermal, it just dawned on me. And one day I said, we should write a children's book. And as everybody knows, we have a CEO who has yes as like a inner system. So when you say something, it goes yes. And I think that was what I needed. And then an obvious choice for me was to get the expertise. And Gabriela was the obvious choice for me, having both the expertise and also the actual creativity that she actually has from the beginning.
But what did you think when Kristina said, hey, you know, Gabriela, I know you're very busy with helping out and sort of building Baseload Power US, but could we take some of your time to write the children's book?
Yeah, like many times when Kristina comes to me with some crazy idea, I think my instant reaction is like, okay. But then after some processing, she really won me over, and I think it's a great idea. Like she said, there isn't any children's book on geothermal, so of course we had to fill that gap.
How did the actual process work? I mean, how did you actually go about writing a book? I mean, where do you start?
I think we started brainstorming. We looked at other children's book and just started thinking about how we wanted to portray, you know, the geothermal industry in a fun and exciting way for kids. And we came up with this idea, maybe based on our own feeling working in the geothermal industry, in the larger renewable sector, that geothermal is sort of the maybe underdog, or like the younger sibling with a little bad confidence maybe. And sort of based our main character Ignis on that feeling, I think.
Ignis, where did that name come from?
Isn't it obvious? Ignite.
Ah!
It's the Latin word for fire. So our characters, we have Ignis, Kai, which means ocean in Hawaiian. We have Terry, based on Terra, which is earth in Latin, and then Sunny and Windy. They're all sort of named after the power that they possess, which is also why the book is called Our Hidden Powers.
Ah.
And I would also like to add, I think that it's we're trying to write a book from two angles. One part is definitely the geothermal, but we also wanted it to be like a story that is important for children and parents out there, because we wanted to create a moment for a children and a parent that is precious. And reading, we all know that gives so much for both the parent and the kid, but also like learnings. So we wanted to take in a situation where many kids could actually like reimagine themselves and understand and learn something more. And everyone who's a parent, they have a kid, and often the kid has hidden powers, and it takes some time for the kid to actually find what they're strong at, what they're good at, what they need to work with. And we actually wanted also the kids to get like a story about that, like how can you actually find your hidden powers, and what's the importance with the friends, because in this story the friends actually help Ignis to find this. So I would say that it's a really parallel story, one about finding your powers as a human being, as a kid, and the other one is about collaboration and understanding the different kind of renewables. So we try to woe it together.
So yeah, it seems to be complex, like the different layers and so on. But what would you say is the general, I mean, purpose with the book then? I mean, why is it needed? I understand, it's good for kids to learn about geothermal, but
well, I think
why?
The purpose of the book is not only to learn kids about geothermal, it's also to learn parents and teachers. I think we've had a few cases in Baseload, for example, where our colleagues have had their children go to school and teachers teaching the kids about renewables and not mentioning geothermal. So what I said earlier about geothermal being an underdog is not just about, us, like the movement of the industry going slower. It's actually not that many people know about it. So we want the book to be educational but fun, not just for kids, but for parents as well.
And again, going back to your question, like what's the purpose of the book? I really think that the purpose is to create awareness around geothermal. That's the basic thing. And at the same time, we wanted to make the story a precious moment for a kid and the teacher and the parent or whoever who reads it, in a sense. Because I don't think that you can just tell a story technically. You have to... people remember stories. People don't remember the details. They would rather remember Ignis and Kai and Windy than they will remember the actual features of sun, wind and geothermal. So I think that this is what we've been trying to get at. And this is, we've been telling stories since the day man was created. That's the way we kind of move things forward, and we treasure the traditional, but we also move things forward. We're telling stories to ignite and to find interest and knowledge.
So have you received any feedback yet? I mean, does the industry know about this? What do you think? What have you experienced so far, if any?
From the industry generally, it's been so positive. They really think and see that they can use it. And this is not a profit project for Baseload. This is just something that we would like to unite the industry around. So as many ambassadors we can get and as many as can use this book, we're just happy to facilitate that possibility. And so far it's been good.
And where are people going to be able to buy or order this book?
On Amazon, for example, but it's also going to be available on our website.
Correct. And soon enough, I think you're going to be able to stream it and look at it from a digital perspective as well. So
very good.
Of course. Yeah.
And so if you then dare to dream a little bit, what would you say is what are you hoping then? That how will it be received? What's the dream? Is it that you go into the New York Library and then there's a copy?
Well, first I would love to have a copy at every library in the world. That's my absolute dream. I would like to I would like to have it in the curriculum at schools. So when they talk about renewables, this can be a book, because it's actually telling the story about sun and wind as well. It's the same. So it's a good book to tell the renewable story. And last but not least, at every science museum all in the world, so that anyone who becomes a parent working in geothermal, wherever they go, they will find this book and say, okay, this is what I can give to my kid. That's a dream.
Would you say agree?
Yeah, definitely agree. But I think my dream is also, if this book can, ignite a spark, even if so small, in a child. Reading it, that geothermal sounds interesting or like something that they would like to do in the future. Just learning about an industry. Yeah, that would be amazing.
I think your answer says a lot. I mean, it's not like they answered, you know, the goal is to have the you know, the book in Sweden or in Europe. It's in every library in the world. So I mean, we have big ambitions.
Aim for the stars, eh?
Aim for the stars, eh?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. You know, I've been hearing about this project, but I'm very excited to get my hands on a first copy to actually see and read it.
Signed, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And you should do like a book signing at some point. Maybe at the New York Library.
Oof. I think that both me and Gabriela will.
Yeah,
attend.
Let's go figure that out.
But you know, Jesper, this is still a coffee with baseload, and at least I have to have some say in the last episode I'm in. Okay, so I actually brought special cakes for us today.
So it's not the cinnamon bun discussion.
So it's not the cinnamon buns, my dear friends. Well, now I'm actually introducing you to a Swedish tradition, and I'm not going to translate this. It's called semla. So how would you guys say? How would you translate?
Semla.
Yep.
Just semla.
It's the name.
And what would you say it is?
So it's like a wheat brioche bun-ish, not really, with soft whipped cream and frangipan, or like an almond paste.
Man, is that really the idea that we're gonna eat them now?
Yes, of course. And you have to eat them gracefully. That's like you know, that's the thing.
How am I supposed to eat that gracefully?
Well,
there is no gracious way.
Okay, but if I'm gonna do it, you gotta do it too. There's no way I'm letting you guys do it without me.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm not. I'm gonna try this. So.
All right.
This is for having fun at work.
And for the children's book.
And for the children's book. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, here we go.
So is this like the secret or hidden power within the semla?
Exactly, it is hidden power. In it's
this is the best.
I think we can start ending it there. Thank you very much for joining Coffee with Baseload. Thank you for your moments with Baseload or Coffee with Baseload, Kristina.
Thank you.
As always, you gotta share, subscribe, like, comment, and all the good stuff.
Be a part of this.
Yeah.
And follow Ignis on TikTok.
Of course. If you haven't had a TikTok account, now you will have it.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Oh my God.
Alltså jag bryter traditionen.